I don't even want to read the script because I absolutely adore Robbie. I met him a couple years ago. He's from Michigan again. We favor them. And he is an agent. He's been an agent for 9 years. He owns a ton of investment properties. I'll let him talk about that. But he's been investing for 12 years. And he looks very young, so that means not long, but a long time. He has 64 people in his organization that he works with. And if you don't know Michigan, Port Huron is relatively small, so to have 64 local people is a big deal. He markets using a ton of YouTube. I tell him all the time to put his son in him because his son in his videos because he's absolutely adorable. And we don't see a lot of dads out there putting their kids out on their videos, but Roman sells a lot. Obviously, he's a husband and a father, and I'm happy to call him my friend. So please welcome Robbie.
Gotta click. Oh, there it is. How's everybody doing? We doing good? Okay, just want to give a big thanks to Tiffany and Matt Topie for putting this on. This is amazing. Also, thank you to all the sponsors. We can clap for that. Also, a big thank you to Curtis Johnson for letting us use this office. I walk around a lot when I talk. I don't know about you guys. When I first got into real estate, my office, I was at a small boutique brokerage, and my office was decorated like a funeral home. And so we've come a long way if you've seen this. So, okay, getting right into it. How to sell without selling. There's going to be a lot of information. I hope I can pack it all in 15 minutes. So yeah, here we go. Okay, Tiffany gave you the scoop on me. 11-year real estate investor. I have real estate or investment properties that I've been doing, I believe, heavily in passive income. I've an 8-year licensed realtor. I have a 64-agent EXP organization, a 22-agent local team, which is Gold Label Real Estate. I was in the entertainment business for 12 years, so I was a DJ, which there's a whole backstory, but I also was in the retail business. I owned a tobacco store for 5 years. I've done a lot, and most importantly, I'm a husband and I'm a father. So Gold Label Realty is, once again, our local team. In the last 24 months, we've done 400 transactions and $65 million in volume, and I know what you're thinking. Thank you. 65 million, 400 transactions. We live in Michigan. If that was Arizona, it would probably be like 300 million or something like that. So our average price point is like 180,000. So keep that in mind. So if you could please follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave this up for a second. And while I leave this up, I'm going to tell you a little bit why I cannot handle rejection. I can't do it. This is why I have to sell without selling, because I can't sell. When I was 19 or 20 years old, I had no direction. I was a terrible student. I was trying to go to college. That didn't work out. But I needed a job, so I got hired in at this call center. And basically, we would go to this call center, and I don't even remember what we were calling for, but we were asking people for money. I think it was like a fundraising thing. We were asking people for money. And the way that the day was structured was you'd show up, and you'd call people for 4 hours. Then you'd have like a 4-hour break, and then you'd show up for the second half of the day, and you'd call people for 4 hours. And so I showed up, and in the first 4 hours, I made like 500 phone calls. You sit at a thing, they give you the script, and you make 500 phone calls asking people for money. Now, if you think asking people to buy or sell their home is very difficult, asking people for money on a cold call is even harder, and it's worse. So during that 4 hours, I was called an a-hole probably 100 times, and guess how many people I got to give me money? 0. Nobody. So I did not show up for the second half of that day. I said, screw this, I'm done. I'm not doing that. I could not handle the rejection anymore, and that was pretty much it. So I'm a pretty black and white person. I don't really get too emotional with stuff, but this is probably the most emotional thing I'll say today. If you don't believe in yourself, then nobody will ever take you seriously, and do not be ashamed of your occupation. When I first got into real estate, I did not believe in myself. I did not respect the industry. I did not respect my job, and I just thought it was a big joke. My vision of what a realtor was, I just remember growing up as a kid, my parents would take us to open houses, and there was this creepy old man with a bad suit, and he'd follow us around the open house trying to sell us the entire time. And all of a sudden I had my license. I'm like, oh, I'm that guy now. Like I just didn't respect myself. And my point with this whole thing is I didn't start to have success until I actually believed in myself and I actually respected what I did. Okay, In 2023, guys, people do not want to be sold to anymore. Every time you open your phone, there's an ad. Every time you look up at a billboard, there's an ad. Every time you're watching TV, there's a commercial. Every time you walk into a furniture store, somebody's trying to sell you something. People are freaking sick of it, okay? So stop being that person. Why do we sell? You have to get into the understanding of why people sell. Okay, we get desperate, all right? When we get desperate, we want to sell. We're broke, we need to sell. We need to pay our bills. We need to do whatever we have to do to make money. We think people are stupid. Have you ever caught yourself where you're like, man, I got this guy, and he's just not understanding, so I just need to keep talking and talking and talking, and then you sound desperate and you sound too salesy. We have no confidence, and we overcompensate. So not knowing the product, not knowing your inventory, not knowing our value will lead us to overselling ourselves, okay, or underselling the competition. So if we don't have confidence, we will undersell the competition. How many times you've been somewhere or a listing appointment and you want to just tell that seller why the other agent that was just meeting with them was not good and why we think we're better? Like, we don't have to do that. We do not have to do that with what I'm going to teach you today, okay? Okay, the key to selling without selling is value, value, value. Okay, when you provide value, you are not selling. My entire business was based on this. And so how can we provide value? There's three main ways we can do that. Events, education, and gifting. These are the three main things that I do in my business, guys. I do not pay for leads. I can't say I never did pay for a lead. When I first started, I paid for leads, and I realized I hated it, and I'll never do it again, right? I was sick of competing with other agents. I'd call Zillow lead, oh, we've already talked to 3 other agents. Okay. I'd go to a listing appointment, oh, you're the 5th guy that's been here today. I was sick of it. And after I learned this, my listing appointment now consists of me walking up to the door, the seller's there, he throws me the keys, says, here, Rob, here you go, call me when it's sold. That is my listing appointment. Literally. 90% of my listing appointments is that. And I go, oh, well, what do you want to do for price? I don't care, you figure it out. Call me when it's sold. That's it. So do this stuff that I'm going to tell you, and this is what will happen, okay? Events. You guys need to be hosting 1 event per quarter minimum, okay? It can be happy hour, a photo day, holiday party, buyer seminar, seller seminar, spring cleanout day. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But first thing, this picture is from an event we did last October. It was a free fall photo day. Okay, this was so simple to put together. It was so cheap. We did it in the park. Okay, we set up a little thing like that. We got some free pumpkins. We got some hail bays. We got some of this stuff. And I hired a photographer, professional photographer, and he got a bunch of pies, pumpkin pies. Like I got like 50 pumpkin pies from Sam's Club, and we showed out. And I called my database, and I said, hey, this is Rob. I would love to invite you. We're doing a free fall photo day. Bring the family, bring your pets, bring whoever you want to bring. And just show up, and we'll give you a pie and get a free photo. People went nuts for it, guys. I'm telling you, it was so. And then the pies, we got a sponsor to pay for. The photographer cost us a couple $100. I split this with another agent. A photographer cost us a couple $100, and it was 3 hours of my day. And it was so easy. But remember, the most important part about an event is not the event itself. It's the invitation to the event. I don't care if 1 person shows up to my event. I don't care. It'd actually be nice because I'll just pack up and leave. But the point is that I called my database. I called 200 to 300 people to invite them to something free. And when you do that consistently over time, people get this weird feeling inside, and they're like, wow, Robbie, that guy is so nice. He is always giving me something. He's always doing something for me, okay? So the invite is the most important part, and the follow-up after, okay? One more thing that I haven't done yet, but the spring cleanout, we heard this in a mastermind the other day, but I already set a date this spring, and we're going to do this. If you live in a neighborhood, or you have a client in a neighborhood, offer to buy them a dumpster, get a dumpster for the entire neighborhood, put it in the driveway, and then mark it to that neighborhood and say, hey guys, on April whatever, we're doing a free spring cleanout day. Bring your junk from your garage, whatever it is, throw it in here, and then you'll have like coffee and donuts set up, and then you'll just meet all the neighbors. And guess what? Everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, thank you so much. This was awesome. Boom, put them in your database, put them in your database, put them in your database, okay? Okay. Educate. This is where social media comes into play and video content, okay? So over the last 3 years, and look guys, if you see any spelling errors, I do not spell very well. I'm sorry, it's not my thing, okay? So there probably is spelling errors in here, all right? Local market update, this is an easy one. I do it every single Monday. I've done it every Monday for the last 5 years. I do not miss. It takes me 5 seconds to do. I make a little template on Canva that says, here's your local market update. And I give them the past 7 days in the real estate market, how many new listings in the past 7 days, how many price adjustments, how many pendings, how many solds, and I put my logo on it, and it takes me 5 minutes a day, and I post it every single morning. And the point of this is consistency. When people see you do this every single Monday, they're going to go, this guy's professional, this guy's consistent, okay? So that's the local market update. I do one weekly email to my entire database every week. I do not miss. It goes out on Wednesdays. It is not a salesy email. It is not a generic email. It is something that comes, it's almost like a journal entry for me. I talk about some real estate. I give them some action. I have links to my social medias. I have links to if they're ready to buy or sell or whatever they're going to do. And then I usually will talk about something fun in the community. At the end, I'll be like, hey, these are my top ranking restaurants in the community. This is what I like, number 1, number 2, number 3. And then that's it. I keep it light, and I do not ever sell. You will never see me on video, online, on anything that goes, hey, I'm Robert, I'm a real estate agent. You guys need to use me because I'm the best. Never, not one time in the last 9 years, okay? Weekly live real estate show. I did this for a long time where I went live on Facebook every single Wednesday at noon, and I would just answer questions. Anybody that tuned in, I would answer any real estate questions that you had. And that gave people a couple things, but number one, it showed that I had confidence to answer any question. I knew any possible scenario outcome in real estate, and I wasn't scared to be live and answer the question. Okay? I did that for a long time. Tuesday tip of the week, my business was almost built on this one video that I did every Tuesday. I did a random video on a real estate tip. And you guys are overthinking. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know what to do video on, you're overthinking it. The general public does not understand the general terms of real estate, right? So here are your ideas. What is an appraisal? Boom, do a video. What to do at a closing? What to inspect at an inspection? What do I bring to a showing? How many houses should we see? These are all video ideas, guys. These are all quick 2-minute or less videos that you can do, that you can shoot on your phone. You don't need anything fancy, and boom, just put them out there. But the key is staying consistency. Every Tuesday, one went out. Double down on your video to educate, to get your message out. Don't be scared to have an opinion. For too long, I did not have an opinion, and I was scared to voice my opinion. Once I started voicing my opinion, people took me more seriously. Whether they agreed with it or not, they took me more seriously, and that was just, I had this epiphany a couple years ago where it's like, why didn't I just say what was in my mind more? What was an appraisal? Yeah, so we already talked about that. Gifting. This is big. So anytime I'm anywhere and I see somebody that is a potential client, a past client, an old client, whatever it is, I will try and buy them something. If I'm at a restaurant, I go to a lot of restaurants. Tiffany will see me all the time. She says, when do you ever do anything? How do you afford your daycare or your sitter bill? Because I'm always out. So if I go to a restaurant, I see somebody, I buy them a drink immediately. If I see a couple that bought a house with me a couple years ago, I will buy their dinner. Think about the average commission that we make, guys, okay? Here it's probably, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000, but where I'm at, it's like $4 or $5 grand. But here it's even, you definitely should be doing it here. And think about what a drink costs. Buy them a drink. And the waitress will go over and say, hey, that guy gave me a drink, and they're going to go, oh my God, that was my real estate agent. And if you see one person in a big group, that's a must. Buy the entire table a drink. If I see a 10 top table and I know one person at that table, I'm buying the entire table a drink because they're going to get the drinks, and everybody's going to go, who bought the drink? Who bought the drink? And the one person that knows me is going to go, oh, that's Robbie. He's my realtor. And I guarantee you, one person at that table is going to go, oh, well, we need to buy a house, or we need to sell a house, and boom, there it is. And that cost me $100, okay? Social media giveaways, I did this big to build my audience early on. I would get a $50 gift card, and I would go live on Monday and say, hey guys, on Friday, we're drawing for the $50 gift card. Tag a friend, share this post, whatever. That helped me build my following on social media, okay? Possession day gifts, closing gifts, possession day gifts. Obviously, we all probably do closing day gifts, possession day gifts. Remember, not 50% of the time, they're not getting the keys at closing, right, guys? So, and what we tend to do is we get the money, and then we kind of forget about them, right, until possession day. Remember, possession day is just as important as closing day, so they should get a gift on both days. Don't let them slip through the crack and get away from you. So, pop buys, we do this every once in a while. I try to do them a couple times a year. Super simple. I'm sure a lot of you have done pop buys before, but they can be very cost effective. So one thing we did, I got cheap bottles of Witch's Brew wine, they cost me, I bought them in bulk from a party store. They cost me like $4 a bottle, right? And I went to this marketdwellings.com. If you do not order from Market Dwellings, they have a really good selection of real estate material. So went there, they had these like bottle tag things. So I put them on the bottle. and the bottle tag said, Happy Halloween. We did this for Halloween. Happy Halloween, you've been boozed. And I went around and I put a bottle of $4 wine on all of my past clients' doorsteps. I took a picture, I texted it to them, and I said, hey, there's a surprise on your front step. Happy Halloween. People went nuts. I got so many leads you wouldn't even know, okay? Easy, 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 easy. And this stuff, and once again, I'm not selling anything, guys. I'm just giving things away to people. I'm always giving things away. So give so much value, people feel an obligation to use you, okay? That has been my mantra for the last 5 years. Give so much value, people feel an obligation to use you. Okay, video and social media, we're going to shift gears a little bit. I've created 500 professional videos, over 500 professional videos in the last 6 years. In 2022 alone, I did 3,000 pieces of content. I posted every day, even on weekends. You have to be consistent, and it's all way easier than cold calling, I promise you. Unless cold calling is your thing, then do that. I'm going to try to get this in. Social media is where the eyes are, okay, guys? Be where the attention is. This is where people are. I don't care what you're doing. You cannot, whether you want to fight it or not, this is where the eyes are, okay? If you are watching TV and a commercial comes on, what is the first thing you do? Boom, you're on your phone. You're not watching the $1 billion commercial that somebody just paid for. You're on your phone. So why would we be anywhere else but here, okay? Another one, I am kind of anti-billboard. I'm sorry if anybody buys billboards in here. I'm anti-billboard because one day I was literally driving and I pulled up, I was at a red light and I pulled up next to this guy, and I always look at the billboards because I want to see what agent spent money on a billboard, and there was an agent's billboard right here, and I'm like, oh, that guy, yeah, he spent like $5,000 on that. So I'm sitting there and I look over, and the guy next to me is at a red light, and he's not looking at the billboard that the agent just spent $5,000 on. He's on his phone at the red light, right? Probably looking at my ad on Facebook that I spent $10. So be where the attention is. Don't fight it. Be where it is, okay? I'll try to do quick. Can I have a couple extra minutes, Tiffany? Yeah. Okay. Long form YouTube, it lives forever. It's educational content people will always search for, so always pay attention to YouTube. Short form, dopamine, 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 right? It's addictive. It's the new hotness. You have to do Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. Types of video. There's 3 types of video that you can do. One-to-one video means like I'm sending videos to my database today because it's so-and-so's birthday, or it's a certain holiday, or whatever it is, right? Hey, this is Rob. Just want to say happy birthday. I appreciate you. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you this year. Boom, right? I want to be able to support you in any way, whatever it is. One-to-one video. Just send 5 of those a day. You'll have more leads than you can probably ever imagine. Educational, we already talked about that. And then entertainment, reality, or vlog-style videos that you can do. That's why like $1 Million Listing does so good, right? People really don't care about the houses. They want to see the inside story of the real estate agent. They want to see the drama in their life and everything like that. That's why those shows are successful. Why is video so important? People transact with people they know, like, and trust. Videos build trust without you ever having to talk to the person. Think about it. They get the audio and visual elements. I meet people all the time that I've never met before, and they just already feel like they know me. They feel like they know me, they trust me, and half my job's already done. Guys, this is a simple business. Stop overcomplicating it. Just meet as many people as you can. Be authentic. Provide good service, good value, and be consistent. And I think there's a panel at the end, so we'll save the questions to the end. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.